Welcome to Justice Losers Christmas Special! I was looking at the Discord camera, not the actual camera.
Yay!
I'm your host, Preston, joined as always by my delightful co-host,
Jingle Matt.
Jingle Matt, what should people do?
Like, subscribe, and start a fight in the Well, no, this is still Christmas spirited. You should tell friends.
Yeah, this is the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. Tell your friends about this. This is kind of a fun thing we do here, so tell them about us. Spread the word.
This is a Minnesota kind of Christmas episode, Christmas special. Every year we've done this. This is the first year we've done it as a bonus, separate thing. But this is the time of the year when we look back at all of the movies that a Chris has been in and talk about the Chris's.
Yep.
And rate them stupidly.
Indeed.
Such as Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, and Chris Evans. Man, I always forget him. Why is he always the last one?
I think we know where your sympathies lie.
Yeah, we talk about we don't review the movies or shows or whatever. We talk about the Chris's, and then we talk about stupid shit. Last year we rated the best nipple.
Yep. Don't know why.
So let's get into this. First of all, the normal ratings are the ones such as best acting, like kind of the best.
Right.
I think the best range, I think, is like the best way we can kind of do that, and that we rank them like top 4. Right. And then we always talk about their best facial hair. That's something we've done the last 3 years. I think that's the only 2 that have been every year, and then we just choose a bunch of stupid shit.
Yep.
Unless I'm missing one. So let's dig into this.
Okay.
So we know that all 4 Chris's have each been in one thing this year.
Right. Let's list those.
Stupid year. Chris Pratt was in Onward. Chris Evans was in a Apple TV miniseries called Defending Jacob. Chris Pine was in Wonder Woman 84, which is why this is coming out a little after Christmas, because we had to wait for that movie to come out.
Sorry.
And then Chris Hemsworth is in a Netflix original called Extraction.
Yep.
All very completely different things.
That's quite a mix right there.
That is comparing apples, oranges, kiwis, and grapes.
Yep.
So let's talk about the acting a little bit. Matt, you can't really say much.
I can say something.
You can say something. You can say the 2. Okay, so let's talk about the 2 that you've seen.
Yeah. So the problem is
Wonder Woman and Extraction.
I only had time to see Wonder Woman and Extraction. And between those, I think Chris Pine in Wonder Woman has to clearly take the cake. Chris Hemsworth has nothing to do but scowl at the camera and shoot people in Extraction. Yeah. And he does that magnificently, but it's not an actor's role. It's a movie star's role.
He's got a pretty good moment in there though with the kid. Mm-hmm. When you're learning about his backstory, but it's really not a lot. It's like one scene just to give the character a little bit of girth, but really nothing much.
Yeah. Whereas in Wonder Woman, and we talked about this a little bit in the review, Chris Pine sells a lot of the sort of emotional core of the movie with just the being really excited about the beauty of the world and all these new and exciting things. And he's got a few scenes of just pure wonder and joy at things, and it's good. It's nice moments. Yeah.
Okay, so we got those, and then so I'll talk about Evans and Pratt a little bit. So Chris Evans in Defending Jacob is absolutely phenomenal. It has a lot to do with the way that the character is written, that the character itself has a good natural character of like the consistent character, but just I don't know. I think it speaks a lot to his acting capability to be able to, that I was able to get sucked into the show so much. Poorer acting would not have me get sucked in, but like I saw him as the actual character. I did not see him as Chris Evans post like the second episode. Like it was, I was genuinely lost in the character. Chris Pine, I would say, yeah, I also was kind of lost in that character as well. Like he was pretty much Steve Trevor. Chris Evans with Chris Hemsworth was Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt in Onward is actually pretty good. I was genuinely surprised by some of the things that he could convey with his voice, which I don't know how much of that has to do with the way they animated his character's face to add to that. No, but he does a really good job. Overall, there's no bad acting this time. There's no like glaring, just like, it's just not like, I would say there's probably a couple scenes in the first episode of Defending Jacob that kind of like bring Chris Evans down a little bit. But I would say Chris Evans is my number one.
Okay.
It's hard for you to say that, but
I respect your judgment, and the fact that I haven't seen Defending Jacob means that you kind of have a leg up on me. I'm gonna have to put Chris Pine first, just because he's the best performance I've seen this year.
He's definitely gonna be my second. Like he's definitely number two for me.
Yep, and I think I'd make Evans my number two, just on the strength of your endorsement. And I wasn't too impressed with Hemsworth in Extraction. Not his fault again.
Yeah. So we got so that's kind of balancing them out to be. I'm gonna actually like keep track of their score, so we actually do know who the best one is. Okay, so we've got a 1 and a 2, and then 2 and a 1. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then number 3, I don't know. It's kind of hard to compare. This is really more comparing like apples and watermelons, because animated voice performance and a actual live action is completely different beast. But let's say Chris Pratt did a good job with the trailers that I saw him in Onward in, so let's give him the third spot.
Okay, I'm giving him third spot as well.
All right.
Because he just generally, like, I could feel his character's emotions, and like, I mean, you can hear some voice talent in there at all times that I will say is in there. Like, I've seen worse voice acting.
Okay.
So, and then that puts us at 4 for Hemsworth. Sorry, Hemsworth, you didn't really have a whole lot to do this time.
Yeah,
you were an action star.
Yep.
Best facial hair.
So I should probably find pictures of Evans in Defending Jacob.
I'm gonna put Evans as my number one because he's got a nice beard. He's like because they're a well-off family, so he keeps it like that. His character keeps it pretty much really nice, but also it's just like it's a nice solid beard. It doesn't get ruffled up by murdering people in Bangladesh.
Yeah, it's basically my beard.
Yeah, kind of. It's a shorter version of your beard. Yeah.
Yeah, Evans, this is a good beard.
Yep. What's Hemsworth's beard at? Like, what's he?
Let me look at some images here. Extraction, Chris Hemsworth. He's got it's kind of the same thing. It's a little more. It's like it's somewhere in between scruff and an actual beard.
But it is a beard.
Yeah, it's definitely covering.
Got to acknowledge. So, go ahead.
I'm going to say it really does suit his character, I think, very well. It is just kind of rough. It looks like he doesn't care, but it might also just be a well-maintained but short beard. It's just hard to tell. Yeah. So I'm kind of leaning Hemsworth, I think, just because I think it.
Okay.
Objectively, if we're just taking the facial hair itself, I think I would take Evans, but in relation to the movie it's in and the character that the facial hair is attached to, I think Hemsworth's going to take the lead for me.
Okay. I'm taking Evans as my lead because it's just a nice full beard.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice full, like, and it's not like the full beard, so I guess not full beard, but nice.
No,
nice,
just like a good
nice facial hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to point out that Pratt in Onward has like the nerdy like 23-year-old scruff on his chin. So
oh my goodness,
does have
so
facial
he does.
hair. and Chris Pine does not have facial hair in Wonder Woman. So
really felt like he
kinda
had
have
just
to
a
put-
little bit of like one day's worth of fuzz in a couple of scenes.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't think that really counts as facial hair because if he's got the 1 day fuzz, he still shaved it.
Yeah.
I'm putting Pratt as 3 and Pine as 4.
See, I think Pratt's the animated little scruffy nothing is I think that's negative points. So I'm going to put him below Pine.
Ooh.
At 3,
Ooh,
Pratt at 4.
all right.
Yeah, yikes.
Controversial.
Yep. Taking shots.
So now we get into the stupid ones. We've got a couple that are friends. For next year, we're going to actually put out a call. Hopefully we have fans that can respond. We're going to put out a call for the categories that you guys want us to rank them. But for now, it was just I put out a call to my friends wow, we only have one.
Okay. Yes, good.
Categories. So the category that we've been told is likelihood to actually listen to the podcast.
Are we going with the character or the actor?
So at this point, I think we start talking about the character.
Okay.
Because I think that's kind of like with stuff like this, I want to start talking. I want to get into the goofier ones. But with that, like that's not really going to change from year to year. So we kind of have to go into like if their personality was their characters of that year, kind of like this blend of their characters of the year, what would they be like? So we have to kind of look at their characters.
All right.
I gotta say right off the bat, number one most likely to listen to the podcast is Pratt's character because he's a Dungeons and Dragons guy.
It would have to be.
so Pratt's a number one.
Yep.
And so that's a one for you too. So let's look at the other guys. So
let's see.
Pine is a pilot from World War One.
Yep.
Who's kind of lost in the wonder of the technology of the world. So
yeah, he'd probably
there might be a chance that he'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Like an entertainment media, there's this whole realm that I don't know about. You might have to listen to it, similar to like Captain America's book of things that he has to do.
Right.
Hemsworth is an angry murder man. I really don't think that Hemsworth's character would listen to a podcast.
He'd listen to us before he goes on angry murder sprees to get himself in an angry and murderous mood. Get pumped up. Deal some death. That's true.
He also really likes kids, so he's got a soft side. So
that's true.
I mean, there might be a thing in there.
Could be.
And then Evans is a upper middle class suburban man. That, I mean, that's just like the demographic of podcast listeners.
Yeah, but not.
He's got a kid that he tries to connect with several times.
So really the question is, would his kid listen to us, and then would he listen to the podcast because his kid is listening to us and he wants to connect?
No, but then that's not him. That's his kid.
Right.
We talk about him. How likely is he going to actually listen to our podcast?
Right, but that's
also,
dependent on his kid.
That's true. Because he also really likes movies, so there's a chance. Like the character likes movies a lot. I think there's a chance that he might. With all those said, I think I'd put Evans at 2, just because he's got the kid. Yeah, you're right. He's got the kid who might listen to it. Okay. And also he likes movies, so he might actually be like a little interested. And then I'm gonna put Pine at 3 just because of that reasoning I gave.
Okay.
And then Hemsworth at 4. I don't think Hemsworth will listen to our podcast at all.
Yeah, I think I'll put Pine at 2. I think he's probably a little more likely to just try to explore as many different things as he can and stumble onto something like this. And then Evans, I can't really speak to. He's got the kid he wants to connect with, but kids don't like quality stuff, and so they wouldn't listen to our things. So I'll put him at 3, Evans at 3, and then Hemsworth, just an angry murder machine. He probably just listens to angry murder music. Yep. And then commits angry murders.
So we're at 17 minutes. I think we can do 2 more. I'm gonna come up with one. I had one that I kind of came up with, and then Matt, you come up with one.
Oh dear.
So we'll do mine so you can get get some time to think of one.
All right.
Most likely to kill someone.
Because
I've got a couple things. So let's go. So Evans. So Hemsworth is a murder machine.
This is literally his job.
It's his job. I'm not even actually automatically putting him at 1. Evans is a cop with some anger issues, and I don't want to get too much into it, but I have to talk about it in this. They cover genetic psychology or biological psychology in there. And he takes a test and he does have the genes, like they tested positive for the genes that are more likely for violence.
Okay.
That's something that comes up, like they were testing that in the thing. It's like his dad had it. Does the kid's dad have it? So Chris's character have it, and he does. He has like the things that
lead him to have a genetic predisposition for violence.
Yeah, like disposition to violence, to recklessness, to anger, like all that kind of stuff. So like
the good things in life.
I want to put that out there that he does have the predisposition to kill someone, and there's a couple times where he like is threatening to hurt someone. So like there's a possibility there. Pine was a war person. He did kill a bunch of people on that airplane, I think.
That's also true.
He was in the war. He's trained to kill. Didn't he also like almost try to shoot the guy, but then Wonder Woman was like, no guns?
No. She said, I don't like guns. That was the opening scene. He picked up a gun at one point and he threw it away. He's like,
Yeah. I think the reason he wasn't killing anyone is because of Wonder Woman, but I think that is a reason that he wouldn't be likely to kill someone is because Wonder Woman, he wants to satisfy Wonder Woman's like ideals.
Right.
So though he is trained in the military, he's got that kind of that boundary, that rule given by Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So I think, so that there's that. And then Pratt, his character everything up in the movie.
So maybe not kill someone on purpose, but like
exactly. I think like part of me wants to say that Pratt's character is more likely to accidentally kill someone than Hemsworth's character is to intentionally kill someone. Because there's magic in that world, and if like he had his way, he would be very likely to kill someone by accident. But he's also very careful about it. He's not like he's careful about magic and stuff. So I'm gonna say Hemsworth at 1.
I think it's got to be. He's the guy whose literal job description is, "Hey, person, end their life."
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna put Pratt at number 2. Just because, like, under circumstances, he would totally accidentally run a train into a person by accident.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's like the 20-something screw up that is the reason car insurance rates are so high for us. Crash into things.
I'm gonna say Pine is number 3 and Evans is number 4, because Pine, while he does have the rule of Wonder Woman kind of bringing him down a little bit, he's still a pretty independent guy. He's not completely blindly loyal to her ideals. And Evans only really just has the genetic predisposition for it.
Right.
And there's another reason in the story that gives why he is not violent. And I don't want to spoil that, but there's a reason that he would not kill someone.
Okay. Very good.
So Pine is 3 and Evans is 4 for me.
All right. I think I agree with your rankings all the way down.
Okay.
I think it's kind of interesting that in two of those stories have nothing to do with violence, and yet all 4 of them could plausibly commit violence, whether accidentally or on purpose.
Exactly.
Does this say something about our movie watching habits as a society?
Ooh. Shit.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Matt.
Okay. Which one of the Chris characters would you most want to sit down and have a beer with?
Ooh, that's a good one. So Evans, he's a lawyer. He's like an assistant DA. He's a lawyer. He's like in the police,
so he's an arrogant, full of himself kind of guy that would be really hard to talk to.
No, I think he'd have a lot of really interesting like stories to tell.
Okay.
And also he's like a really chill guy in the movie, so like it would like this is Evans,
right?
Not Hemsworth,
right?
Okay, I didn't know if you thought of him. He's a pretty chill guy. Like I'd probably have a beer with him.
Sure.
Hemsworth,
he likes beer, but he's more of a movie machine.
Yeah, he's. I feel like he would just not ever talk. Like he just like he's like I don't know why I'm here, and would just never talk to me.
Yeah, just kind of grunt at
Pine
you.
was in World War I, and also came back in the 80s, and also dated Wonder Woman.
Oh, he'd have so many interesting stories, and he'd have so many interesting questions. He could ask you about the dumbest, most inane stuff, and he would hang on every word when you'd answer him.
Yeah. That's true. You could really feel special.
Yeah.
And then Pratt is a D&D guy. Honestly, for me, that's a
sure.
That's a big one. See what his stories are. And also, he's literally in the land of magic.
True.
I think that there's some interesting stories for that one.
I'm sure there's some good stuff to be told.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I'm thinking Pine would have to be on a clear number one there. Just he would have a lot of interesting stuff to tell, and I could tell him the most boring thing in the world, and he would eat it up. He would love everything I had to say. And he's a friendly guy, you know? He seems like the sort of guy that you pound back a few glasses with and just have a good time. Yep. Sounds like Evans might be my number two then. Just kind of a chill, lax, normal, laid back dude. Sure. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I'm probably going to put Hemsworth at number three. Just we both sit there in silence and drink our beer and go our separate ways. One of us goes home and kills someone that night. I won't tell you which one.
The other one goes and plays Thor.
Yeah. And then I think I'd put Pratt at number 4 because I don't like D&D very much, and I don't want to hear him talk about his D&D stuff.
Right. I think I'm gonna put Evans at number 1.
Okay.
For reasons that I cannot explain. Sorry. If you watch Defending Jacob, then you'll understand a bit of my why I'd sit down with him. I'd probably put Pine as number 2. Same reasons, like I eat up all my every word, and also I talked to him about Wonder Woman. Let's be honest. Like he dated Wonder Woman. I would never tell him anything. I would just ask him about Wonder Woman. Pratt is number 3 for D&D, and also just like the magical world. I think they're really interesting to just learn about that.
Mm-hmm.
I am too social and too talkative to sit with a silent person. So Hemsworth is an easy number 4 for me.
Fair enough.
So
yeah. All right.
So that's our rankings.
Okay.
Give me just a second. I'm going to calculate them up.
All right. While you're doing that, I'll point out that I just saw a headline just before we did this that apparently 3 of the Chris's were in a fantasy football league this year with each other. Hemsworth, Evans, and Pratt. And of the 3, Chris Pratt did the best. So.
Oh.
That's something.
All right.
All right.
We have a very clear lineup.
Good.
So, coming in at number 4 is Hemsworth. He kind of suffered with the sitting down for a beer.
Yep.
The acting ability, and then the what was the other one that he just was? Oh, more like most likely to listen to the podcast.
Right.
So
right.
Sorry there, buddy. You didn't. Sorry. What was his name? What was the character's name? Rake. Sorry,
Tyler Rake.
You didn't. Tyler Rake. You didn't. If you listen to the podcast, you'd be more better Chris this year.
Yep.
Coming in at number 3 is Chris Pratt. Kind of hovered around the 3s a lot for the beard, the acting, and then the last one, the sit down for a beer.
Yep.
But did pretty well in the other 2.
Okay.
Coming in at number 2 is Chris Pine.
All right.
Just generally kind of around the middle. Not a lot of number 1s, but 2s and 3s for the rest of it, with 1-4. And then number 1 is Chris Evans. The best best Chris of the year is Chris Evans.
All right.
A lot of 1s. And you hadn't even seen it.
Yeah. Way to go.
Just a good, well-rounded character really brought him to number one this year.
Good deal.
So, that's it. That's our official, number one Chris of the year is Chris Evans.
Congratulations,
We need to
Chris.
get these, get these, written down somewhere.
I wonder
go
if
back
we
and
can
find out.
I wonder if we can get him on the podcast to accept a trophy in person.
All right, guys. Everyone start calling in all of your personal connections to get Chris Evans to listen to our podcast.
We should tweet at him.
Do what?
We should tweet at him.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. All right. That's it. That's the Christmas special.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, everyone. If you I don't know, shallst we?
Sure.
I don't know if we do this for minisodes.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If you enjoyed this little nonsense, check it out again next year when it comes back around.
Hey, guys. Preston here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked what you saw here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we upload these every Thursday. If you want to hear more, we have an unabridged version on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, and any other podcast app. Check us out on Instagram at JusticeLosersPod. See you next week.